Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Rock Solid group. And this is the whole purpose in all of you being on here. And if you're watching by recording, is that you have a desire to build your business and you have a desire to touch people's hearts in a way that not everyone's willing to do. You're willing to pay the price. You're willing to make the difference. And so just congratulations for being invited. This was very, every coach that's on here, your leader saw potential or saw action or saw passion. That's why you're here. So we just want to say welcome. We're coming into a season that is about making a difference and making a change, and it's starting with us. And so that's what we're going to talk about this morning, is about setting yourself up for this next season, because life and different businesses are about different seasons, and a lot of our season starts right here, and this is where the difference happens. It's right there in the heart of who you are, the heart of what you want and why you want it. And we're going to bring on, the first thing I'm going to bring on is Jen Jones, and Jen has a heart for not only encouragement and sharing, but she is an amazing leader for all of us. And Jen, we'd love to share what's on your heart today.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Just get my coffee. I saw my friends take a big sip. Me too. Cheers, FIBCers. Let's do this, right? Let's do it. Good morning. I would just like to take a minute this morning and kind of share from where I'm coming from. My grandpa, who was such a dear man, passed away a few years ago. He would always say this anytime I would talk to him about what was going on in my life, or if he was sharing something about his life, he would always say, Jennifer, where you are, I have been, and where I am, you will be. And as I was thinking about this group, this Saturday morning training, I was reflecting back to growing to FIBC and remembering what I had to do, the action that was required, the heart that was required, the steps that it took. And so I'm going to share with you right now from where I'm currently at, and then give you some heart, because I know that that's what Paula, this training is going to be a lot about, but then some practical action too, because I sometimes was that girl texting Doug and Tia, what more could I do? What else could I do? Is there anything I'm missing? And so I want to help you with those things. But I think one of the biggest things that can be the struggle in this process from where you are to where you want to be, and we've talked about structural tension so much, so we all get that. Some of the biggest difficulty within that tension is something that I call false evidence appearing real, which is fear. And it is totally false evidence appearing real. But what that actually is simply fear. And I think we all know it. We've probably all posted it and pinned it and Instagrammed it, that fear is a liar. We know that intuitively. Actually, we know it. We can say it. But I discovered, and I actually discovered this on the path to FIBC and beyond, was the best way to overcome my fear and to dispel it was by taking action. And that's why that's why we've spent so many weeks talking about structure, because I had to live in that structure and take the action in between. Everything, whether it's our map or our structural tension chart, there's most of the space that we had to sit down and think about and write about was this in-between stuff, and that's where all of the action is, and that's the only way to get from where you are to where you want to be. And I actually want to tell you the big takeaway for this morning, from me anyways, in my little 10-minute segment: stop thinking so much. Just stop overthinking it. Don't think so much. It's kind of like with our clients on program. Just eat the food and drink the water. the results will happen. Eat the food, drink the water. And that can be very true of coaching as well. I personally have had it's been fun. It's been joy-filled, but it has been crazy because I'm moving. We got the keys last night. So actually, my husband's like, you're doing what this morning? I'm like, I'm doing a call. And then I will be right there to help. And then I got to get the kids to soccer since you can't because you're meeting the movers. It's crazy. And I've chosen joy in the midst of it because, it's going to get done. But what can happen when we're in this process of growing is we can think too much and we can get in our head, and what can quickly happen from this is a crazy week, I'm moving, can go down the road to I'm going to just not coach anymore. I don't think I should coach anymore. I can't do it. It's not going to happen. It's not growing. I don't know. Maybe I don't have what it takes. This is too overwhelming. I have too much on my plate. This is taking way too much of my time. I'm not going to coach anymore. What? We started at moving. But that is what happens so often because we spend so much time in our own head and we begin to tell ourselves a story based on false evidence that's appearing real. And the story digresses into maybe I'm not like her. Maybe I'm not like him. Maybe I just don't have what it takes. No, you're just moving, Jen. You're moving. Your business is fine. Everything's okay. You're just moving. It's a crazy week. But that is also why I love the structure of it, because even when life is crazy, and I will tell you, growing to FIBC, I love what Nevi said on her post in the page, messy is the new sexy. It doesn't mean that you have to overwork or over hustle or any of those things. It just means it's a little messy. I don't feel burnout or anything this week. I'm just really grateful that I have a structural tension chart, because even in the midst of chaos, I can look at my computer and go, oh, that's right. That's right. I'm doing that celebration call. Okay, I can take 10 minutes. Oh, that's right. I've got FIBC training. Okay. So I can't move for this hour. That's okay. That's all right. I'll get back to it. But that is why you got to get it out of your head and onto these maps and these structural tension charts, because then when it does get messy, which it inevitably does, because that's just life. Busy isn't going anywhere, my friends. I'm just as busy now as I was growing to FIBC. It just looks a little bit different. And so that's why that is so important. That's why we have the tools. That's why we've spent so many weeks doing that. And really the map, the structural tension, it's the coach's version of eat the food, drink the water. And so you really just need to spend that 30 minutes in your head to actually create it all. Then once it's out on paper, stop overthinking. Because it's true, sometimes we say, what else can we do? Well, what else can I do? What am I missing? And those are great conversations to have at the beginning of the month or at the end of the month with your coach when you're creating. And then honestly, go with your heart, not with your head. I'm not saying to chuck logic at the door. My temperament is ENTJ. I am a total thinker. So that is not what I'm saying. Super logical. I'm way big picture. That's not what I'm saying. But we are not accountants. And so our job doesn't require, our job is relationship. We are health coaches, and it requires a lot of heart. And so sure, you think deeply to map out what you want. And then after that, you gut it out and you take that action with all heart. There's not a ton more that I need to sit down here other than Zooms. There's not a ton that I need to sit here and really be like pen to paper thinking, strategizing what that Facebook post is going to be, thinking about what I'm going to, like writing out my script of what I'm going to say to that. Nope. This group right here in the beginning, sure. We're helping that first coach to senior coach. Sure. Let's help them write out that Facebook post, please, for the love, right? But you guys right here, right now, you know what to do. And now it's go with your gut, lead with your heart and just connect with the people and take the action that you've already thought through. That is really, it's not all kinds of strategic planning and thinking, it's heart. In fact, so much of what we do, being in connection with people over the phone or being in Facebook, doing live videos, all these different actions that we take to help acquire and assist clients and acquire and assist coaches is actually best when done authentically. That's actually when my business really grows, is when I'm packing boxes and I have a thought and I'm like, I'm going to share that. I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to share that with her. When I'm doing stuff with my kids and so-and-so pops in my head, I'm going to text her right now. I'm going to text her right now and connect with her because she said she wanted program. She said she wanted to be able to play with her kids. I'm playing with my kids. Have you thought about program? How's it going? Heart, heart, heart. And so 3 quick action steps that are actually a little bit more practical. And the first one is make a conscious decision to shut off your conscious brain. And let me tell you what I mean by that. This is where you're going to tell the inner critics that are so noisy to stop taking up so much residence in your head and in your life, and tell you how you should be doing it or what you should be saying. Turn off those critics. Turn off that noise in your head. Send them off for the night and assure them that you'll check in with them later after you've done all the action. And after you've led with your heart and after you've done what you need to do, you can check in with a little conscious critic then after the results are in and you are FIBC. While you're in action right now, which is definitely what needs to happen next, that's where we're at now as a crew. We're in action mode. Turn off the noise in your head, because that honestly is the biggest thing that holds us back. The second thing is put the process over the product. Meaning, I'm going to kind of describe it a little bit like in acting and how, or like the creative process, because a lot of times actors and other creative professionals, they talk about seeking just to do this. So when you throw yourself into the process of performing your craft, the final product, the audience, their reaction, it'll take care of itself. So when that actor gets up and is like, man, I really want a standing ovation. If they're just sitting there thinking like, oh, I want to stand, I hope they, the audience is probably completely lost. But when they get in there and just go with it and like, I'm going to go and do this wonderful thing that I have in my heart for these people that I love, and I'm going to go connect with them, and I sure hope at the end they love it. That's when they love it. Don't think about like just go with it. Get on the call. Celebrate that client. Explore coaching. Share from your heart. Just do it. Just submit to the process that you have been trained in. And we're going to talk more about that like team coaching part of it next week, but you know so much, you guys know the process. Just go with it. And the people who are trying to impact, they'll get it. They'll get it when it's led that way. And then finally, expect the magical moment. Expect it. Have faith in the system. And I had the privilege of one of the people on my team last month. She did have 5 new senior coaches, 5 legs. She did grow to FIBC. And I remember at the beginning of the month when we sat down with her map and we sat down and we talked, okay, what do you want this month? I want it. I want it, and I want it bad. And she's a busy woman. She's got a lot on her plate. And okay, do you believe that we believe, let's do this. And every conversation we would have, even when fear would creep in, even when doubt, even when one coach actually completely disengaged with us all month long, we had to go find another one. We were like, it's going to happen. It is going to happen. We just got to do this. Just submit to have faith in the system, have faith in you. You got to have faith in you, trust the process, work it wholeheartedly, and believe that you can achieve it. It's not pie in the sky thinking. I'm not talking about pipe dreaming here because we have processes. So it's not pie in the sky. It's just that, in my opinion, going for it, changing your action and not your goals, and deciding that you will become all that you desire to be through this health coaching process with this team, that the reality is time and consistency will equal success. And every single person on this call is completely capable, and the possibility, it's right there, and you have everything you have in your hands. So just go do it. Take the action to dispel the fear. Get out of your head, lead with your heart, and every single one of you are quite capable. So that's all I have for this morning. Paula, thank you for letting me share from my heart.
Wow. That was powerful. I was seeing all the notes coming in the chat, and it's like, okay, right? And it's so cool because we all are feeling, those of us who are sharing on tonight, this morning, are all feeling that same thing about it starting from our heart. Because the gift that we have in our hand is not a product. It's relationship. It's life change. And once we, I think, realize the power that has in other people's life and the gift that we've been given to share, it's like, oh my goodness, right? I was thinking, Jen was talking about acting through fear, and think about people who've been courageous. Joan of Arc or Braveheart. Do you think of that before they headed out to battle, that they were just like all confident? You know, their heart was beating within them, but what they wanted and what they saw and what they felt like was worth dying for, we're not to that point, but what it was worth giving, giving hope. They were running, and they were courage and bravery. It means I'm acting even when I am afraid. I can remember calling Tia one time. I was getting ready to do an event for the first time in my husband's small town, and I knew no one, and small towns have their own quirks. And so it was a little intimidating, more than even in a big town. And I was like, Tia, I'm really brave. Because I'm doing this, and I'm terrified, because otherwise I was feeling like, oh, I'm just, feeling cowardly. And it's like, no, we're doing it in the face of fear. And when we realize that what we've been given isn't for ourselves, and even all of us here, it's like we've been given this so that we can serve others. It's for them. It's not for us. So what's holding us back? Because their benefit is so much greater than what we would benefit. And, we focus on our weaknesses. We focus on our inadequacies, and those can paralyze us. Those are what brings the fear, right? Because we feed those. I was listening to a podcast this week, and he said, our weaknesses, we know our weaknesses, right? We all know them. Our weaknesses speak the truth of who they are. Ignore them. But our strengths speak the truth of who you are. Honor that. Move in that. Grow in that. Right? Henry Ford says, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. It's like, so as Jen was talking about, our dreams and our wishes and what we see, they aren't just a wish. The expectancy of what's to come creates such a desire within us that it motivates us into action, because we want to see that come true. Not waiting to sit back and go, I wish that. That's like a client ordering, we've all had them, ordering their program, and they're going, yeah, I want to be here, or I want to be there, but they're never actually making any actions or sacrifices. It's like, no, they don't want it. They wish it. They wish they were healthy. They wish they were lean. They wish they were thin and active. That's what they wish. And that's kind of that difference. Heart, as Jen was talking about, that is contagious. And that's what moves our world. That's what moves other people's hearts, because they see the passion, they see the heart within us, and that's what they're drawn to. It's not about a scientific convincing, here's the chemicals and here's the calories and here's the whatever of how all of this scientific process works. That moves no one. All that does is start arguments and helps them start to reason it away. But when you look in the eye of someone and you say, I hear your heart, I know this program will work for you, and I'm going to walk beside you every step of the way, and we are going to do this together. It's going to be so awesome. And you know how you're wishing and dreaming? It's going to happen. Can you not envision yourself out playing with the kids in the water when you're in Hawaii at Christmas? Do you not envision how excited you are when you're going to take that family picture that you've avoided for 5 years because you felt too heavy or too big or too fat or whatever they're saying? And those of us who are on here, we're also speaking that same truth into our coaches and saying, you know, that dream you have of being home with your children, or of producing or bringing in enough income to get that debt off your back that is going to bring peace back to your family. We're going to do this. Or someone who you're talking to and say, you know how much it's just breaking your heart to see the people around you who are not even living life anymore. They're just existing. We're going to help them. We're going to bring hope to them. And so it's acting in the face of fear. And when we talk about heart being contagious, think about it. Some of you helped your first client. Some of you became executive directors in 2 weeks or less. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that wasn't because of knowledge. That also wasn't because you've been on 100 Zooms and you know exactly what to say. It was because you talked to your friends and you called and you say, I know you've been struggling, and I found this program that has been amazing. It's changed so many people's lives, and I know it can help you. I would just love to talk with you about this. Or looking someone in the eye that you love and saying, you know what I wish for you? I wish we had the old Robin back. I wish we had the old Michelle back. I want you to have the energy that you're dreaming of. Can you trust me and let me walk beside you? It's that kind of heart that moves us forward. But sometimes when we go a little bit longer, we start analyzing too much, as Jen was talking about, and we start thinking, oh, I'm not that great. Oh, I'm not that smart. Oh, I don't know if my team will ever grow. It will grow if you want it to grow and if we put the steps behind it. Think about Walt Disney when he walked into the field with another partner. And I was reading that this week, and it says, 2 men walked through a field, an empty field. One was Walt Disney and one was a friend of his. One saw exactly what he expected to see. He waded through the tall weeds toward desolate orange groves, thinking, what a big wasteland. I don't even know what we could do with this. It looks like a lot of work, and I don't know if there'll be a whole lot of income. What, we're going to put in houses? But the other man, he bounced through the weeds with excitement and expectancy and said, this is it. Do you not see it? This is the place. This is the place that has been in here, and I have expectancy. We're going to put a merry-go-round over there. We're going to put a roller coaster over here. I'm going to create something that's up here, and people are going to come from all over the world, and they're going to experience happiness. It's going to be the happiest place on earth. And those of you who have been to Disneyland, you realize that dream that was in Walt Disney's mind, it wasn't just a vague, like, oh, let's order a roller. It wasn't like the state fair where, yeah, we have those same components. It was every small detail of why everything matters, the pristine, the intricacy, the beauty, the experience. And he could see that before it ever came into being. And those of us who are dreaming and knowing, it's not just a pipe dream. It's, I want it so much, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to bring that into reality. Dan Bell, many of you have heard him say these questions, but he said, what do you want? How bad do you want it? And what are you willing to do to get it? And that question is to us. That question is something we can ask to our clients. That is questions that we can ask to our coaches, because that's where really the rubber meets the road. Fears, they're going to always be there. Weaknesses, they're going to always be there. But as Jen said, those don't dictate our success. They don't dictate who we are. You were created to be here for this purpose, to share, to make changes in people's life and bring hope where there's nothing else like this. Do you guys realize what we have? There's not a program out there that even kind of compares. The components, it doesn't exist. We're the only ones who have the 4 components of community, education, that person to walk beside you. And then, and by the way, we have an amazing health program too, nutrition program. And then the same way with our coaching, what we have to offer. So as we start to go into this next season, I want to give you some expectations. This is reality, because dreaming and wishing and having goals doesn't mean that we don't face reality. It just means that we know what's going to happen. Just like we tell our clients, you're going to go to that wedding. We know there's going to be cake there. Don't act like it's a surprise. And it jumped out and like, oh, I didn't know that there would be. Right, seriously. So the same with us in this season. This is a pivotal season, these next 3 months, for our businesses. And I've been coaching for 5 years, and I've experienced it personally, and I've seen it in my team. Those who put the effort in right now, your business will grow in direct correlation to the actions you put in. You can wish that your January will be huge, but what matters is right now is what you're doing. So think about it. This is a season where over the next 3 months, there's going to be clients moving their orders out. There's going to be people spending their B-Slim money because they want to go see grandma for Christmas. They're going to be spending all their B-Slim money on Christmas presents, so they don't have time. They're going to go off program and only do a half order. That's all right. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to you and to me. So we manage that expectation. We manage that disappointment by planning for it. So are we going to work twice as hard right now? Yep, I am. I know that my business has grown in the last 2 Octobers, Novembers, and Decembers. 2 reasons. Number one, I knew that other people were kind of thinking it's not the season. So I'm like, I'm acting on it because people are still discouraged. They're still crying themselves to sleep 2 days before Thanksgiving and a month before Christmas. The person who is desperate, it's not going away. It's the people who kind of don't want to lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds. They're not ready. That's okay. But the people who notice are really there. And so if you're running 6,000, I want to challenge you. Get your frontline volume to 8,000. Whatever it takes. Is it going to take a little more work? Is it going to take a few more calls? Is it going to take starting more conversations? Mm-hmm. It is. If you're running 8,000, get it to 10,000. Guess what? If you're reaching for 8,000 and I only hit 7,000. Okay. That's better than 6, but it's like we shoot for the moon and we'll hit a star, right? You know that saying, but if you shoot for the star, you're going to hit a rock. We have to stretch beyond what we've normally done. And you know what the coolest thing is? Those of you who are on here and those of us who do that action, because I'm committed to it too, do you know what's going to happen in January? I mean, when we say January is an explosion month, yeah, but only if we put the effort in now. Because that's when it happens. Day after Christmas, believe me, don't plan to go to grandma's the week between Christmas and New Year's. If we have done the action, we're on phone all day long. As a matter of fact, last year I had my almost to be daughter-in-law home here with us. And anyway, she said, wow, you're on a lot of Zooms. And at that time I was a little afraid that she wasn't going to be a health coach because it looked like I was consumed. But I'm like, yeah, this is our season right now. And so I just had minutes or two. I'd say, hey, how are things going? She made fun of me because I would go in the kitchen, didn't realize I was doing it. Hey, how are things going? I just have about 2 minutes till my next Zoom. How are you doing? Like, oh my God. She told me that later. And I'm like, yeah, I did do that. But anyway, I just want to say, go to your heart. Go back to that place where you're contagious. It's fresh. People are desperate. And let's start to see the actions that will reinforce or support those dreams and goals that we have. Anyone who has ever succeeded at anything has done it with their heart. They haven't done it out of intellect and emotions and overthinking it and over planning and over strategizing, and certainly not us, because we are not about advertising and campaign. It comes from here, and especially in this type of business that we have. Carissa, I would love for you to come on and bring all of this together, and what are the actions, what are the tangible things that we can do to ensure that our business grows. I know everyone's on here at 7 a.m. Pacific because you cared and you really did have a desire. And those of you who are watching it by recording, you're doing it because you have a desire. So, and those of you who are on East Coast, it's 10 in the morning and you probably would like to be out shopping or something. And you're here. So, hey, we're all here because we want to grow. But Carissa, come and share with us what's on speaking to you today.
Awesome. Can you hear me? Good morning. I love Jen and Paula this morning, taking notes and going away, but what I'm hearing from both of them is today I will do what others won't so that tomorrow I can do what others can't. If you wrap up both of them, today I will choose to do what others won't so that tomorrow I can do what others can't. And that's what action is. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Bear with me here. Can you see that? Awesome. Can you see my screen? Perfect. So just go over some practical action steps as Jen and Paula were just really going over the heart and getting your heart in this season of the next 3 months of taking action. And I just want to go over some simple action steps. I know some of you have seen these action steps. We know they're out there, but do we actually do them, and do we actually follow through with them? I think that is the biggest difference, because I know for me, there's simple action steps, and most of us have heard this, but are we doing the action? And that's what's going to make the difference. I love this. What is right is so often forgotten by what is convenient. What is right is so often forgotten by what is convenient. Convenience is a thief that robs us of experiencing a richer life, a life led by doing what's right, healthy, and good. Think about that. Sometimes action steps, sometimes being consistent is not always convenient. It's not. But you make the choice that you're going to choose right now, as we're on this call, that you're going to do what is right. Through this next couple of months of transitioning into this season, into, of course, what we know as the healthy season of New Year's resolution goals, but really doing what is right versus what is convenient. We've heard this many times. Consistent action creates consistent results. That key word, consistent, we've heard it so much, but I think sometimes we become immune to it a little bit because we've heard it so much. But consistent action creates consistent results. I would take a picture of that. I'll go back to it, but really put that on your screensaver here. Consistent action creates consistent results. I would put it on your screensaver, because when you're have 5 minutes to spare and you're going to accidentally get on your phone to scroll through your news feed, you can say, consistent action creates consistent results. So what can I be doing right now instead of looking at my phone when I can actually be in action? The secret to all of these action steps is that they work together. As we all say, we always hashtag better together. All these action steps, it's just not one, and you don't just pick and choose what you want to do or what you feel like doing today. It's definitely working all of these action steps together. We are better together. We're better together on this call. We're better together when we're team coaching. We're better together when we connect with our business coaches. See, it's not about being better with one another on this call, but it's about becoming a better person and bettering ourselves every day. And I think by doing these action steps, you are actually bettering yourself. So ask yourself these questions. Are you willing to apply the action consistently? Not once in a while, or not when we feel like it, or not when we are having an emotional day, but are you willing to apply these actions consistently? First, before we get into it, I want you to remember your why. Sometimes I think we get so lost in going after the big picture that we don't remember why we are doing this. We don't remember, we're so stuck in here that we don't remember our why, and we're not having fun doing it. I remember I would call Doug one day, what else, so about a year ago, what else could I be doing? He says, are you having fun? I'm like, I might have lost that. Go have fun. Go climb the mountain. Go do what Carissa does, and remember your why and have fun doing it. I think that's what gets lost, is we don't have fun anymore, and so we get tired, we give up, and we don't follow the consistent action steps. So here we go. Number 1, be social on social media. I know we've seen that, but this morning I will admit that I have been guilty of charge that I would post on Facebook and literally I would leave, post and leave, right? No, we need to be social on social media, interact with your clients on Facebook. Who are your VIPs? Who's on your whiteboard that you are wanting in your business as your team? I remember I went to Universal Studios last year and we got the VIP pass. Do you know, I felt like $1 million. The tour guide was taking us around. There was millions of people there, maybe thousands at Universal Studios, but it felt like nobody was there. It felt like I was the only one, me and my team, walking through there. What a difference when you make your clients, when you make your coaches, when you make your pre-clients, and who you want on your team, the VIPs. Become their biggest fan, because they will want more of that and they will want to be on your team. So be social on social media. Leave comments that request a reply. Then they're replying back and you started a conversation right there. Secondly is use a before and after picture from your profile. I know we hear that so many times. And you know, I look at our profile picture and I know it's supposed to tell basically our story. But this morning, make a decision. Is your Facebook for business or is it for personal? What was your answer? So mine is professional. I do professional posts. I really think about my day. I'm strategic. And my profile picture is not one of me and my kids. It is me with I am a health coach shirt on, or my coaches before and after pictures. Because when I am comment on people's stuff and when I'm interacting, your profile picture, it goes with you. That's what they see when you leave a comment. So I think it is so important. It's so fun, yes, to have pictures of kids, football games. I'm guilty before, but I've made a choice that my profile picture, I'm going to change it, and it's going to be, I might change it with different health coach shirts on, whatever it may be, but that is my goal, my sugar shot before and after, whatever it is. So use your before and after pic for your profile. Posts, I know on this call where you're at right now, you should be doing this. It shouldn't be something that you have to put on your structures chart. This should automatically just happen. But you definitely go back to the basics of posting regularly and consistently on Facebook. Share your heart. Come from the place of what drew you to the program. Come to the place of when you first started. I think we get lost in of what we need to do and what we should be doing to what's in our heart. who needs me today? What do people need to hear me say? Also, if you're not sure, and ask your business coach to look on your Facebook page. What do you think I should be doing more of? But you provide value on every post. I really take a second before I post it, and I think in my mind, is this a professional post, or is this a post that, it's going to be okay, but I want my Facebook to be above the line, that people, when they post or when they go on my Facebook page, when they see my profile picture and they click on it, they're going to see 1 or 2 posts down, something about health, that it's not going to be, they need to go through a whole day and see something about health. It's going to be at least 1 or 2 posts down. I think that makes such a huge difference. Also, celebrate your client success on social media. Man, let people know that you are having fun with your clients on your team, that they are doing amazing, that you believe in people, because your friends and your family, they are looking for somebody to believe in them. They are looking for someone to believe in them. And when they see you celebrate, you feel like $1 million, right? When somebody celebrates you. We love to be celebrated, going ED, senior coach, associate, FIBC. We love to be celebrated. So remember how you feel when somebody celebrates you, and do the same for your client's success. Tag them in it. That gives you access to their friends, and you never know, they might have so much people being like, what are you doing? That client may want to just become a coach. So never pass up an opportunity to make someone else a star. Utilize Facebook as your connection point of your social life. This definitely brings people into your everyday world. When you are out and about, when you want to get out of your comfort zone and bring people into your world, become friends with them on Facebook. That leaves them going to Facebook, seeing what you're doing, and it already is sowing the seed. Getting out of your comfort zone. Boy, that has been huge for me. This last 6 months, I've really been challenged to get out of my comfort zone, because I am not one that, I like my home. I like to go to Starbucks and work, but I'm good. I'm good on Zoom with you guys. I'm good. But I've really been challenged to get out of my comfort zone. So the last month, I've been asked to kind of step into our sisterhood group and become one of our leaders. And I was like, it's a whole group of new ladies and just a larger ministry. And I'm like, do I really want to do this? Because I'm just like, but you know what? I felt like, I need to get out of my comfort zone, and I need to be okay with not being okay. And every week, I'll tell you, it's not easy walking in there, but I walk there in confidence, knowing who I am. I am upward. Have someone off mute here. I walk into there with confidence and boldness of who I am. I know I am a health coach, and I know I have something to offer people that is going to bring hope and that is going to be life-changing. And when you're walking into a different zone, it's hard to be confident in who you are as a health coach. I am first to admit it's hard, but getting that connection point and bringing them back into your world on Facebook breaks the ice of what you have to offer them if you do not want to bring it up yourself. Because I know it is a little intimidating for you to get out of your comfort zone, but do it. Find and connect a new place, new people, new surroundings. Add something simple. Add 5 to new friends per day. Set a number and commit to it. I had somebody comment on one of my things yesterday, and it wasn't, for me to go back, it wouldn't have been above the line, but I just had to kind of delete it. And I was talking with my coaches about it yesterday, and she said, well, are you crazy or are you brave? Because I don't know who they are, but I believe I'm being brave. Yes, a little crazy, but being brave because I want my business to go and I want to open up a new sphere of influence. And I know by adding new friends, that's exactly what's going to take place. So I would strongly suggest add 5 to 10 new friends a day. Don't go over. You will go to Facebook jail if you didn't know that existed. It does. I've been. So add 5 to 10 new friends a day. Perseverance. This, if you didn't know, perseverance is an action step. It is. And this is something I had to learn the last year. That was an action step. Being persistent in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Being persistent. Not doing the action steps when you feel like it, or when you feel like nothing is happening, you give up. When you've been sowing seed and you're not seeing fruit, you are actually really in action. You are persevering. So don't give up. Be determined that you are going to hit FIBC no matter the delay or no matter the difficulty. You are going to do it. You are going to be persistent in doing something despite it all. Today, I would highly suggest that you make a decision up front. You are going to run hip to hip with your coaches, whether you have 1 or whether you have 10. You are going to make a decision today. You are going to run with your coaches, whether it's your first generation down to 4th, 5th, wherever you're at, until you find that leader that is going to run with themselves. I think that's so important. We start coaches, they're like, oh my gosh, I have a new coach. Your coach doesn't know how to business coach them yet. And I think we just leave it so in the air that it's just going to happen for them. No, make a decision up front that you are going to run hip to hip with your coaches from first generation down until you find your leader who is going to step up as a business coach and run their organization on their own. I think that is crucial, and I think so many times we miss that. Contact worksheet, real simple. If you don't have your contact list, and if you haven't done it in a while, remake your contact list. Maybe do 2 different lists in a month, which you can, because if you reach out to about 10 people a day on your contact list, you're already through 100 people in 10 days. So you can actually do 2 different contact lists. Of course, we've heard many about our scared list. I have my scared list right here. The 10 people you want on your team, but you are afraid to call them. 10 people you see as home run winners, but you are afraid. Just be real with them, saying, I am so passionate and I love what I do. This is really awkward for me, and this is hard for me to step out of my comfort zone, but I see something in you and I know what you can do too. Follow-up Friday. Most of you know what Follow-up Friday is. Be consistent, be systematic, have a future client binder. If you don't have one, of course, you should all have a client binder, but have a future client binder, even something that you are connecting with on a daily basis, going through that. Reach out to past clients. Keep the relationship alive. Apologize. I've had to do some apologizing for not being a great coach. We all start off, we all know and we have these expectations of what a coach should be. And here 2 years later, I'm like, wow, I've messed up. I was not a good coach. If you need to go back and apologize, say, I was just learning. Can I have another chance to coach you again? I would love to coach you. If they're not ready, ask them for referrals, and maybe they want to start again with their friends and with their family. Real quick, maybe some of you have saw the Starbucks post that is kind of going around right now. You've seen other coaches. I've had a coach do this week. She had 6 pre-client calls yesterday from this Starbucks post. So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to post on your Facebook asking friends and family to post on their Facebook, on their timeline, tagging you in it. If you're not sure what to post, and if you're not seeing what's out there, let your business coach know, and we will send you what to post. You're going to offer them an incentive, $5 Starbucks cards for posting on Facebook. Now, if that lead becomes a client, you will also offer $25 once they say yes. So what you're going to do is you're going to private message your friend that said yes with a post, including your before and after picture. So this has been huge. People have been doing the $5 Starbucks cards picture, and Starbucks draws people's attention. So this is huge. Get with your business coach about doing the Starbucks post. It has added a lot of value to people's page, and it has really brought a lot of traction for referrals. Offer incentives. Yes, the Starbucks is great, but think about it at the beginning of every month, what you are going to budget in to sow seeds into your business. Is it a $25 cash on account for a new coach? Is it $25 cash on account for a new client? I believe every month, Doug and Tia have set this up for me so well and ingrained it in my heart that every single month I should be sowing seed back into my business. Not just for tax purposes, of course, but because I believe seed will make your business grow. So I believe every month, set aside everyone knows your budget. You are the only one that knows your budget on here, right? So set aside every single month what you are going to sow back into your business. I think if you start doing that, you're going to see something happen in your business, and it's going to change. I think it's going to change your business. It really has changed mine as I'm sowing back into people's lives and sowing into their business. Last thing is offer coaching to everyone. If I go back and I think about Doug and Tia, if they held back from not offering coaching to me, how many lives would I not touched right now? How many lives would have held up from not coaching themselves? We have this gift, and like Jen said earlier, we're so caught up in our mind that we don't offer this gift enough. I'm guilty. I don't offer this gift enough. I need to offer this gift of coaching enough, more. How many times are you offering this gift a day? I have it on there that I'm going to send so many trilogy calls a day. Am I doing it? Are you sending trilogy calls and offering this gift to people? Because I know how it's changed my life. And I believe there's people out there who are looking for us and that will change their life too. We have this gift, and I believe that we are definitely called to not hold it to ourselves, but just give it away. I did the other day a short little video on the power of 5 minutes. A lot of these action steps take 5 minutes, but you have to set your mindset that you are going to do it, that you're not going to do it because it's at a convenient time. You're going to do it because you are a professional health coach, because this is your business and you are taking control of it. And I am going to work like a professional. So when I have 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes we're waiting to go to an appointment, 5 minutes when I'm sitting in the school line, because I am that mom that gets there early and parks my car so my kids can get out first, and there I am. So I have time. You have time. We find the time because you want to make it happen and because you are a professional health coach. So last thing is get into action. These action steps are simple. I know many of you have heard them, but are you doing them? That's the difference. We hear them, people talk about them, but are we doing them? If you're scared today, get into action. If you're discouraged or disappointed, get into action. If you're feeling lazy, the best thing you can do is get up and get into action. If you aren't sure, if you're overwhelmed, get into action. It's the choice of getting into action, like we talked about last week? Is it structure, or are you living in emotion? Paula, are you there? I hope this helps a little bit, and just a few action steps that we can be doing to really grow our business.
Carissa, thank you. I was writing like crazy. There was so many fresh ideas, and you guys know that every time you hear them, even if it's the same words, you're at a different place in your business and it hits you different. You're like, either that didn't hit me before like that, or I haven't been doing that and I used to do it. And wow, that is so cool. I had a couple of messages that came in privately and said, how do you find the passion again? How do you make it fun again? And it was alluded to, but I don't know if we really said it, that one of the first things we have to do before we get into action is stop and take time to do a little reflection. Not like, okay, who could I speak to today? How would I change it? Okay, go call. No. Take a little bit of time, whether it's once a week, whether it's every day, but often to say, where would I be without Take Shape for Life? Would I be working in an office? Would I be still heavy, discouraged? We forget because our new norm is the status quo. Our new norm of, as you are growing to FIBC and those of us who are regional and national and global, our new norm of abundance finances and abundance fulfillment, we almost forget that that's not normal. Mm-hmm. Are we putting that message out there, as Carissa was talking about? I was really challenged and convicted this week to realize, we've kind of had it in our mind that sometimes if we talk about our clients do this, if they kind of brag about how much weight they've lost, you know how you said, you've heard them say, I feel like I might be bragging, and what will people think? You're like, what? We know that people are like, are you kidding? They're cheering you on. And we sometimes think, if I brag about money or abundance, people are going to think that's bad. Well, obviously we're going to use common sense, but people desire to be successful, and we hold it back from sharing that we're dang successful. And the opportunity is so cool, but it's not a private party. Putting it out there and then inviting people, whether it's a live video of sorts, whether it's private messages, whether it's be bold in your sharing to actually say, you know what, if I wasn't doing this, I cannot imagine working in a 9-to-5 or selling real estate and being there every weekend. Sure, if you're an entrepreneur, you could do something like that, but that would be weekends, nights? No way. I have a life of abundance with freedom, and we have finances and that give us ability. And you know what? My team is growing. They got to know your team is growing. When Carissa said that about celebrating the success of your clients on Facebook and celebrating the success of your coaches, because a lot of people knowing you, they're like, oh, do you have a couple coaches on your team? And some of you like have 40 or 50 or 80 or 100 but people don't know that. What if you did a post with a collage of all your coaches and said, I love supporting these guys. It is so fun teaming together with my team of coaches, seeing changes, not only in their homes financially to give them the ability to, whatever you say, pay off debt, be home with their babies, whatever, take their dream vacations. We don't say that enough. So start with your heart, find your passion again. If that means going out on a walk in the woods and saying, I'm not coming home till I figure out why I started this, what's wrong, what changed, because that's it. What changed? You were super excited when you started. If you're not feeling it, go find out why. Do introspection, reflection, and see it. Doug, I would love to bring you on. I want to say, those of you who are here, we are beyond blessed to have Doug and Tia. And not only the actions, but they believe in us, and they believe in this gift, and they believe in it. They lead with example. You guys know how many times they're self-sacrificing. Sure, they're having time that they turn their phones on airplane mode, but they are giving it up for us to be successful. And I want to pay that forward. So Doug, would you come and share with?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Paula, Jen, Carissa, incredible morning. I've been listening the whole way. We've gone on a long drive this morning, so I've had my camera off, but I've been right here. A couple things I just want to piggyback. Anytime that I feel like, and if you haven't yet, which I'm shocked if you haven't, but you're going to go through seasons of building this business and pouring into other people to where you may go through passion swings and to where you have a little bit down. We can call them emotions. We can call them whatever. But anytime I realize that I have lost, I'm not as passionate as I was last week. Like, what's changed? 9.5 times out of 10, I became internal focused versus outward and others focused. And what makes this business so hard and why so many of us, and I talked the first week about why we spend so much time in this V of points, either between 4 or 6 or moving on through 12, is because this type of business, serving others, requires so much of you to be outward focused. However, it comes with the biggest reward, especially in finances. So, hey, nothing that's going to last comes easy. And I say that this is what you're looking for, and I don't think you're still here if that's what you're looking for. If that's what you're looking for, people are disappointed because they come here and it's like, oh, you can come on and make $1,000, $2,000 really quick. But beyond that, it's like, this thing takes work, yes, but it lasts forever because we're serving people forever. So that's number one. Number two, in terms of the Starbucks challenge that's going around, I put some comments because Corey and Julie Baker, global directors, are actually the one that kind of came up with it. So something I want to encourage you guys, I put the comments below. We can put them in the FIBC page. But it's been tested, and I don't like to do anything that's not been tested. And so it's been tested. Huge results coming from it, like Carissa said. However, don't go changing up post exactly what he wrote. Change 1 or 2 words. If it's, and remember, you don't have to do this. You might look at it and go, I don't want to do it. That's fine. But don't change up and write your own thing and try to work your own way. Exactly how I put it in the chat is how it's working right now. So why should we mess with something that's working? If you start changing it and doctoring it up and putting your own spin on it, I cannot guarantee results. But what I do know right now, the way people are posting it just as it is, personalizing it to you with your picture and stuff like that, it's working. So don't go messing with it. The other part of it is, I'm not doing the $25 referral credit. Most people are excited about the $5 Starbucks gift card. They have no attachment to $25 more, whether that client gets started or not. So if you want to put that out there, you can. But my suggestion is just do the $5 Starbucks gift card, and you will have people who just want a free Starbucks, and they'll give up their referrals. And they're, what it's kind of doing, and I'm just kind of being this. It's kind of like buying Facebook space on somebody else's wall. It's buying advertising. Paula, we used to do it back in the furniture business. It's for $5. Basically, I get to access, that person has 600 friends. You might get to access 150, 200 of them, and it costs you $5 to do it. So if financially it makes sense, do it. If you're right now, you just for some reason can't invest $5 Starbucks gift cards to 5 or 10 people, then don't do it. But to Carissa's point, everyone on this call, it's time to start investing in your business, because I was going to do a video yesterday, but I didn't do it. And Paula, maybe we just need to have Wes come on here in a few weeks after we get through next week's team coaching and systems, and maybe talk a little bit about the value of investing in our business and when to. And because here's the truth, and Wes taught me so well, here in April, and I don't say this to scare anybody, here in April, we're going to be writing a check to either Uncle Sam, because we're making good money here, okay? Or why not invest it back into your business? And, in order to have write-offs, we have to have write-ons. But everyone, if you're on this call, you have write-ons. So we want to invest back into our business, and especially during this time that's going to be so important. One last little plug, and I think next week, Eric Hunsberger and Raquel are going to be assisting me talking through team coaching. But Eric has done a lot of BNIs, Business Networking International. In fact, I was just in Indiana or no, 2 days ago, and I was having lunch with Dr. Paul and Julie. And Dr. Paul, a little less than a year ago, we talked, and he joined a BNI, Business Networking International, I think it's called, but it's like referral groups in his area. Every area has them. They take time and consistent. They're not your little, and I'm not saying mom's club or show up and have coffee and leave and come when you want. You have to show up consistently each week, and I think you can only miss a few different times, but you're meeting the same group of business people. He was sharing with me that he has started 15 clients alone, business people, in his BNI this just in the last, I think, 8 or 10 months. That's 15 people inside the group, and his referrals from those people that they know outside that group has been huge. And Dr. Paul runs really, really good frontline volume, and it's also led to coaches too. And Eric Hunsberger will talk about it this week. I know a few months ago he joined a BNI and has had incredible results, and he can share with you a little bit. But I'm just kind of planting the seed here to start looking in your area. Spend some time looking at the local town that you're in. Google BNIs in your area. And the cool part about BNIs is that only they'll only like allow one health coach in there, or one person like in health and wellness, and there only maybe be one real estate agent in there. There'll only be so it's a little bit more limited on things like that. So anyway, Paula, thanks for just having me come on here at the end, and I'll turn it back over to you for questions. And I know some people might have some questions about some of the action steps too.
Awesome. Thank you, Doug, for summing that up. Laughing a little bit, Heather Flum, I know that's a joke. She said, I'll be doing a Dunkin' Donuts gift card because we don't have a Starbucks nearby. So anyone who's wondering if that's true, she's not. That would not exactly fit a health coach profile. You can change it to a Target card, Amazon, we don't care. Yes, would some of you like to come off of mute, share a takeaway, ask a question? We are growing together with that, this whole thing. We've never arrived.
Hey, Paula. I'm going to hop off. Oh, we're going to have echoes. Hold on. Click mute.
Sorry. Megan's in.
Sorry.
Megan's in.
You good? Okay. Sorry, we are in Paula's house in Las Vegas. That's the freedom and fun of building a business and being integrated. But I wanted to real quick add a little thing. Paula, I love what you were saying about the client needing to anticipate like cake and dessert at a wedding and not just being like, oh, I don't know, all of a sudden this like cake showed up. And I wanted to add that in these next few months going into the holidays and then January, do anticipate, like Paul was saying, that there are going to be a few people that maybe they're not all in with their health, and that's okay, but don't let that discourage you so that you stop anticipating January and you stop building for January and next year and those people that need you to show up every day because you had one or two people that decided they couldn't live without grandma's gravy, and so they needed to stop ordering. So anticipate the good, anticipate the, I'm not even going to say bad, but the pausers. They come back around. And 3 years of coaching, I've seen that they come back around. And what's cool about that is they come back around, they get healthy when they're ready. So just anticipate this next season that there's going to be ebbs and flows, and do not let the parts that feel discouraging stop you. Let it drive you into 10x, which isn't always natural. I remember at first when I would be discouraged, I would go, oh, this is horrible. And I think about it and just stop and go to your structural tension chart and say, I'm going to do even more action so that this person fuels my fire to help 5 more. So I just want to share that because we're like in the super fun season of acquiring in October, and we can keep on doing that through November or December. We just might need to be doing some more seed planting.
Thanks, Megan. Someone else have a question? I'm going to stop recording right now.